All right, today I want to tackle a very serious topic, and it's porn addiction or internet sex addiction. We don't know exactly how many people in the world this affects, but research actually estimates that there's somewhere between 20 and 60%. That's very high. Now, this is not about porn per se or engaging in sexual behavior through the internet at all. It's when it becomes problematic, when it causes dysfunction and distress and disorder in your life. That's when it starts to become an issue. And what are some of the characteristics? Well, one of the main features for people who suffer from this is that they have trouble controlling it. They want to stop, they want to pull away, but they can't. The second is very serious. You see implications across your life. There's been career loss, there's been damaging relationships. People often suffer from a great deal of shame and guilt and stress, anxiety, depression, isolation. All of these are linked to what they call compulsive and impulse control behaviors that are related to sexual behaviors and the internet. And this is worrisome because as technology becomes more and more invasive and it's coming deeper and deeper into our lives, we're finding that people who suffer from an inability to pull back from their sexual engagement online are really suffering in a psychological way, in a spiritual way, in a social way, in an economic way. Now, as I said, this doesn't affect anybody and everybody that engages in sexual activity online. The research shows that the people who it causes most distress are the ones who have trouble controlling their urges. And you hear innumerable stories of people who were so drawn into relationships and to experiences online that they were completely disconnected from their existing relationships or from their work life or from their children and from their families. And that's the kind of damage that we want to be aware of and we want to control. I want to just say that there's no judgment here. There are a lot of reasons that people get drawn into the internet to find intimacy, connection, to play out fantasies, to find safety, to be able to experiment with things and lifestyles that they may not be able to do in their real life. Again, the key here is when it becomes dysfunctional and it affects your life and you want to stop or control it and find yourself unable to. I'm going to read you some of the warning signs of trouble from a study that was done in 2008. Now, keep in mind that technology has advanced much further, so put these in the context of today's life. Routinely spending significant amount of times in chat rooms with the sole purpose of looking for sex. Feeling preoccupied with the internet only to find sexual activities. Using anonymous communication to engage in sexual fantasies not typically carried out in real life. Feeling the need to hide online interactions from others. Feeling guilt and shame about online use. Being less invested with real life sexual partners only to prefer online pornography or cyber sex as a primary form of sexual gratification. There are three factors that the science shows seem to be triggering this. One is the anonymity, which is a big deal. You can go on there, nobody knows who you are. The accessibility, which as I mentioned now, it's all over the place. Everybody has access to it, even children, which is problematic. And the affordability. I mean, there's a quote in here where a guy says for $10 he's having the best sex of his life. And that's an issue if he has any aspirations to engage with real life people. My friends, I'm calling this as a call to action and a call to awareness because we cannot even begin to imagine the changes that technology is going to inflict on ourselves, on our relationships, on our intimacy, on our sex lives. So it's really important that if you are suffering from something like this, that you learn to address and you begin to address it now. You must make an effort to bring your sexuality, your relationship to yourself, your motivation for relating to other people into a healthy space so that these tools just remain that. Tools for education, for entertainment, for engagement, but they don't take over your entire life. More to come. Stick with me. Cheers.